fungal diseases. And we've also discussed bacterial diseases, right? So, from everything we've been discussing so far, can someone pick a difference between bacterial and fungal disease? Bacterial and fungal disease, one difference you notice. Because this is what you may likely meet on the field. So it is important you are able to identify this is a bacterial disease, this is a fungal disease. So anybody wants to try? Okay.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. And one of the things I discovered about bacteria and fungi, like the differences I spotted, is bacteria tends to attack in the inside part of the plant, mostly the tissues and the vascular bundles, while the fungi do attack it, but mostly on the external. That's where you mostly see the features of fungal effects.
Any other person? Any other person wants to try? Okay. So for bacteria, if you observe when we were discussing the bacterial part of this material, you discover that there is no really treatment for bacteria, right? There is no really treatment for bacteria, but for fungi, you see, use a particular fungicide, use a fungicide spray program to control the fungi. So for bacteria, it is very difficult to control bacteria. Once they infect your crop, most times it's termination. Unlike fungi can be, you can still manage fungi. If it's still at the minimal level, you can still manage fungi. And another thing with bacteria are unicellular organisms. That is, they have what? One cell. They are unicellular organisms, and they tend to attack your plant when your plant is injured. That is where bacteria will thrive and attack your plant. Now, injury can be as a result of, it's not only when you work on your plant that your plant gets injured. There are natural injuries. Let's say the root, when the root is trying to expand, when the root of your plant is trying to expand and grow, bacteria can enter your plant through that means. But for fungi are multicellular organisms. So they have more than one cell. And fungi, even though your plant is injured, your plant is not injured, they will still attack because they have spores. So those spores, they will spread around. The spores are always around, especially for net houses. Yes, you get bacterial spores around. Some of them, they will be at the roof of your net house. So immediately there is rainfall, they will just drop on your leaf. Even apart from rainfall, in the morning you observe dews on your plant, right? So they can pass that medium to enter your plant. So fungi, they don't need injury for them to attack your plant. They are always there. And they deal with spores generation. So when the spores will be moving around, if you observe, I think we used Fosset aluminium the last week, right? Okay, this week. Yes, Fossetta. So the active ingredient for Fossetta is Fossetti aluminium. And if you look at the FRAC group, so for insecticide, we have IRAC, right? For fungicide, we have FRAC, or you can call it FRAC. You can call it FRAC. So for each of them, they have groups. For Fossetta is in phosphonate group. What they do is, they will not allow your spore, the spore, to generate again. They will kill that spore. So for fungi, most times, if fungi attack your plant, you see fungi on the leaves of your plant. When you spray, it's not like your leaf will come back to life, or your leaf will be fresh and new again. No. What you did is, you terminated that spore. Now when you are done terminated the spore, the new shoots that will be coming out, they will be free from that fungal disease. Hope it's clear. So, do anybody have any question?
Yes, sir.
If you have.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for the presentation. I really appreciate it. I want to ask, my question is that, I don't know, is there any way I can differentiate between maybe when there is fruit rot, yeah, because of lack of particular nutrients, maybe like calcium in tomato. I don't know. I think lack of calcium also causes fruit rot and fruit rot. And also when it's being affected by what's it called, attacked by fungi.
So what you call fruit rots for lack of calcium is blossom end rot. And the reason why they call it blossom end rot is because it is happening directly at the bottom part of the plant. They call it blossom end rot. So that is where you notice the symptom of lack of calcium. Whereas fruit rot happens anywhere in your fruit. It shows anywhere in your fruit. And like, I don't know, maybe we didn't see the picture, but there's when there's a fungal disease affecting your fruit, you will notice a whitish spot. You might not see it immediately, but if you go to markets where this kind of things happen, you will notice a spot. So the difference between the fruit rot and the blossom end rot is one happens directly at the bottom of your plant. The blossom end rot. So that's the way you can differentiate. When you see it happening, the blossom end rot can start from your ripe fruits. So you notice it at the beginning.
Okay. You have a question?
My question might sound foolish, but
There's no foolish question in this class.
I saw somewhere about that tomato doesn't like overhead irrigation and also deep formation. So I don't know, is there a way we can, is it possible to stop dew from? That's why I say it might sound foolish because
Your question is not foolish. So your question is valid. Since tomato don't like overhead irrigation, what can we do to prevent dew? Now, dew is a natural thing. There's no way you can stop dew from occurring. It's a natural thing. But for overhead irrigation, that one you are purposely doing it, right? Now, when dew is on the leaves of your plant, when the sun comes out, what will happen? It will go away now. Unlike the one you purposely use water. Some persons, they will use the force of the water and injure the plant, introducing various organisms to the plant. So your dew is not really an issue. Your dew is not really an issue. It is when you have water splash that is the real issue, because most times the fungi are on the floor, and when the water splash and touches your leaf, it will start, the spores will start spreading. Are you clear? Any other question? Question, contribution? You still have question?
Yes. My question is still about this how to differentiate bacteria, attack of bacteria and fungi, so that when on the field, if I see that, how will I be able to quickly know? I may not be noticing maybe the place of injury and all those things like that. And this thing they are kind of looking at like at times. How will I be able, or if somebody needs my help in that regard, how will I be able to help that person out? Thank you.
So does anybody want to attempt? So if you are on the field, you see a bacterial infection or you see a fungal infection, how can you differentiate between fungal and bacterial infection? Anybody? Okay.
Thank you very much. First of all, when I was taking the bacterial class, there is one of the symptoms you notice. Some of the symptoms that are very peculiar to bacteria and some are peculiar to fungi. Then you have to carry out an experiment to find out which of that is actually attacking the plant. One of the top you have sometimes you uproot to check the roots if there are like some nodules on the roots, and then you also cut into two, like talk about longitudinal cuts, and then dip it inside water. Then if you begin to see some white substance oozing out, then you should know that that's bacteria. You should know. Then with the symptoms also, some of the symptoms, just like I said earlier, they are peculiar to bacteria and fungi. Thank you.
Okay, most of the time, for fungi, it's always fully expressed on the leaves. So when you see the leaves being attacked, then you should know that it is fungi. Normally, in the research station where I serve, we used to carry out research when we work on the leaves. So, because, like for Fusarium now, we have so many types of Fusarium. So we cannot really predict what kind of Fusarium that attack this particular one, but we just know that it's fungi, it's Fusarium. So when we go to the research lab, we run a test, the DNA extraction and all. So we now know the particular kind of Fusarium that attack that plant. So when we know the particular one that attack that plant, then we will now work. We think we have the solution to the problem. They will now find the ways towards to solve that particular problem. Thank you.
Are you clear? Is there any other question, please? Bacteria, fungi, what we've discussed so far? Bacteria and fungi, what we've discussed. Now, another difference between bacteria and fungi is, for bacteria, you observe the leaf will be wet, kind of, yes, water soaked. But for fungi, it's dry. It's dry. That's another difference between them. Another difference you can observe, that you can then observe between them for bacteria and fungi infections. And for fungi infections, they mainly happen during the rainy season. So you experience more fungi diseases in the rainy season, although they may still attack in dry season. Like for powdery mildew is, yes, you see powdery mildew more in dry season, while for rainy season you will see downy mildew. I know most of us have experienced downy mildew, right? Those that did cucumber, especially Darina. So downy mildew, once there is rainfall, downy mildew is likely to attack your cucumber or your tomato and the rest. So is there any other question?
Yes.
Wait, let me give this beautiful lady first.
He said that one of the symptoms for fungi disease, he said you see that white spores. But since this tomato is perishable, sometimes if you leave the tomato, you start seeing that white spores. Does it mean that it's still fungi that is causing it? Or just normal?
Please, can anybody answer the question? I think quart 8, or is it quart 7? Is it quart 8 or quart 7 that they took you guys to the processing for excursion? I think that's quart 8 now. No, as in, he's saying everybody. The fact that you said everybody, that means quart 8 they were present. No, I just want to see. If I say quart 8, that means everybody is present. From quart 1 to 8, they are present. Oh, you are not around. Oh, you are denying. So who wants to answer it? Okay.
So, when fungi produce, they release millions of spores into the air at any given time. So, right now, we have fungal spores in the air. If you leave bread here, come back, you will see the exhibiting fungal growth. So, yes, if you see this in the market and you are seeing those white spores, it means it's a fungal growth. Those are myceliums. Those are what we call mycelium, is what you call root. The roots of fungi. It's called mycelium. So those are fungi.
Okay, so that means they also contribute to food decay.
Definitely. Yes. Any mold, spores, they form mold. When you see, like I said, bread, when you put bread in, you see a mold in it. So it happens. They are present in the air, they are everywhere.
That is why you use refrigerator. Okay.
And the only time their color shows like this is when the temperature is favorable. We just see them having this kind of thing. We notice that when the temperature is a little bit warm, we will start seeing this majorly.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, you have a question?
Thank you. So I want to ask, these bacteria and fungal symptoms, are they usually very peculiar to a particular fruit, or will you be seeing symptoms in other fruits as well that the bacteria or fungi might be affecting?
Is it fruit or plants?
Plants, it's wrong. Like, say, can you see same symptom of a bacteria or fungal in cucumber and the same as in tomato?
Let's take for instance the blossom end rot. Where does it affect, say, only bell pepper, and will you see it at the bottom, at the same spot in other fruit that is also going to be affecting? Or is it just peculiar to a particular fruit or plant or whatever?
Anybody want to attend that? Okay. I want to attend about that one. You said when fruit is rotting at the bottom, sometimes it may not be fungal effect or bacterial effect. Sometimes it can be nutrient deficiency, like we have mobile and immobile. You know, immobile sometimes they don't used to dry faster on the plant, like calcium. When you put your calcium, you fatigate, the way plant will take up the remaining nutrient, the element inside the substrate, it will be different to calcium because they don't use to uptake it faster like potassium, phosphorus, and then it may lead to root rot. Food end rot. Yeah, do some end rot. Yes, it can lead to do some end rot. And then for bacteria, sometimes when you see a fruit, the difference between end rot in your fruit, it will be different from bacteria rot. Like this one now, please help me to make it up. Like this. If you see this fruit like this, you go to market and you see this kind of fruit. This is what we call mold on your fruit. It will give you sign like this, whitish like this, and that is what we call on your.
Thank you very much, sir. So, okay, you want to add?
We are trying to ask if some of these fungi do attack other plants as well and other fruits. Yes, definitely they attack. Fusarium attack habanero and attack tomato. But the only thing that is that the effect may be a little bit different. But this treatment and transmission is still the same. If you override irrigation with your habanero or your tomato, you will have those fungi. But the treatment is still the same thing, use fungicide. But the effect will be a little bit different. Like in for the blossom end rot in habanero and in tomato and habanero, I think it's the same. So always occurs at the low part. But as this fruit rot is happening to tomato like this, it can also occur in habanero as well and other fruits. Is that answer?
Are you clear?
I don't remember the particular fungi when they were, but there was a line that stated that that particular fungi is susceptible to Solanum family. The implication of that statement means that all plants in that kind of family will contend with that fungi. So if all things being equal, tomato and bell pepper, they have this, there is bit that and garden eggplants. So that kind of family, they will contain that kind of fungi because they are susceptible to it. So until maybe a variant of GMO modified against that particular fungi would work upon, they will be contained with such.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for everyone that has been contributing. We've learned today, all right? We've learned a lot.
So, if I get this right, you're asking if symptoms are similar across plants, right? Good. All plants, not sometimes they're similar, sometimes they're not. You can see when you talk about vascular discoloration. Vascular discoloration can happen if there is a disease affecting the tomato. The vascular discoloration can happen along this stem. The same vascular discoloration, you can see it in the malaria. Sometimes, what I mentioned, FSP, former specialist, it means that that particular strain, how do I put it? Take for example, Plasmodium. Plasmodium is what affects, what causes malaria. There can be a strain of Plasmodium that would affect only male human beings. That means if a female human being gets a mosquito bite and the Plasmodium in her system, she will not have malaria. But if a male is bitten by that same mosquito, they will have malaria. That's what FSP means, former specialist. It means that that particular strain would only affect the tomato family. There are some that affect only, like you mentioned, Solanaceous crops. It means if that disease is present in, take for example, rubber, if that disease is there, or if the fungi is there, it will not affect rubber. But any Solanaceous crop that you plant around that area will be affected. That's what I mean. So symptoms can be the same, symptoms can differ, depends on the plant. But if that plant is generic to that disease, then that's the only plant that you see it. Exactly.
Thank you for all your contributions. Thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much. So I don't think we have any other question, all right? Don't have any other question. Which guy? Okay, you want to ask? So you know the funny thing, each quote there's this peculiar person. There's this peculiar person that loves answering questions. So for quote 7 it was who? Who? Missionary farmer. For quote 8 who? Okay, the person did not stay back. You know the funny thing, those persons that are answering questions, they don't normally stay back. They will come here to steal information from us. Well, it's fine, Sha. It's okay. And it's like this guy will not stay back too. I'm not a prophet, but I know you will not stay back. Eh? Okay. It's not 1 month staying back. Oh.
It's not 1 month.
Okay. Then maybe you will divide all odds, Abina. So at this point, let's go and rest for next week. Next week we'll continue discussing fungal infections. So part 4 will be the ones to take for next week. So you get to see part 4 members. Do you know part 4 partners? Do you know anyone? Me? No, apart from me now. Okay, you know another one? Okay. My core people, they know their name. They're the celebrity. Alright. Good night to everybody. Have a nice weekend.